Well, hello. I wanted to talk about a new idea I had for an instrument build. It's not that new, but it's a repurposing. So I was thinking of my last two instrument builds. You may have seen the video where I built this Spanish guitar. Came out great. I love this instrument very much. I love the sound. I love the playability, everything. Um, it's and it's very nice. And it's my favorite to play in the mornings, etc. But it's not one I would take on a vacation. Like if I'm in a car driving somewhere, and we're going on vacation, I probably wouldn't take this because it's very nice, and I just want it to stay like that. And of course, I made my little guitar, which you've seen the video on that, which is perfect because when I'm flying, I put that in my ukulele case. It has what's called ukulele strings, and um, it's tuned like a guitar. It's tuned down to what would be this guitar capoed at the second fret. It doesn't have the depth of tone, but it sounds pretty good, and it's perfect practice. Little wider neck. This has a true classical width neck, and this one I customized specifically for my playing style. And then I was thinking about, well, what could I do, if I just wanted something to kick around with, sit out in the back patio and play, going on a trip, in the car, which I could use my little guitar. But then I had this other instrument, and this is a Puerto Rican. So you see the size difference that we have little and medium and big. And this was a 10 string Puerto Rican Quattro, and I was just experimenting with it. Um, so I was just experimenting with it, and I bought this. It was cheap quite a few years ago. It Puerto Rican Quattros have 10 strings, steel strings, and they tune in fourths, which is kind of the name. It has the same scale length as a Venezuelan Quattro, which is 20.5 inches. And I played it and learned to play the Quattro, and it was particularly very nice. I'm playing leads and things like that, tuning fourths, and it was a lot of fun. But it ended up just being a wall hanger that I didn't do much with, and rarely touched or played, and all of that. And so then I thought, well, what if I change it for kicks and giggles? So I did. I cut the headstock down and made it into a 6 string, and put ukulele strings on it. And it came out fine. Put a little armrest on it, which I like armrests, and that was fine. And this tunes as though a guitar is capoed at the first fret, which is so with ukulele strings on it, and it sounds good. It's compact, and it has a case that fits its size, um, and I was sitting around playing it, and it's fine, but the top is plywood, and it sounds really good. But I can kind of hear that it's a plywood guitar. I know that sounds crazy, but I can. And I was playing it and thinking, if this had just a little longer neck, it would still, because I cut, 3 inches, like 2.5 inches probably to 3 inches off the top. I could put a longer neck on this, and it'd still fit in its case that's built for it, and it'd be a small guitar that I could take anywhere, tune to, you know, down to a normal guitar tuning, and put guitar strings on it. And then I thought, if it had a cedar top, it would sound really good. And then I thought, well, if I was going to do all that, I could put a hardwood back on it, so it's not a plywood back. And because I kind of like the little violin shape of the Puerto Rican Quattro on the body. I like that. I like this heavy bulbous lower bout. It seems to help with tone. I noticed that with another Quattro I built. It provides some depth of tone that I like. So I got to thinking about, what I did with the tenor ukulele, turn it into my little guitar. And I thought, I have this instrument. It was made where it looks good. It's not bad. I mean, really, but it was made where all inexpensive instruments are made, right? It's from that place we call China, and there's nothing. I don't have an issue with that, but it's plywood. And as neat as it is, and as cute as it is, and it sounds pretty good, I thought I have some cedar. I still have, free wood, and I have some pretty curly maple and some maple for the neck, and yew wood I'll use for the fretboard and stuff like that. I thought, well, it'll, I love working on these. I like playing with the wood and making things. It's kind of my hobby. So I thought, well, why don't I have some fun with this? It's a perfectly good instrument. That doesn't sound bad. Doesn't sound great, but it doesn't sound bad. And why don't I put a short scale classical guitar neck on it? I'll build it. I'll make it out of maple and hand carve it, and a cedar top with a maple back, and just cut the neck off, cut the top and back out of it, keep the sides because I love this shape, and make something different out of it just for kicks and giggles. And so I'm going to make this is a 20.5-inch scale length. I'm going to make a 24-inch scale length at even 2 feet. So you have 12 and 12, which works out perfectly for this. The bridge location on this instrument is already 12 inches from the top, right? And so as you would with classical guitar, if you join at the 12th fret, you got 12 inches to the bridge and 12 inches to the nut. And that's how it would work, and that's perfect. And I like joining necks at the 12th fret if I can. There's some discussion out there, scientifically about sonic tonal transmission, because your harmonics are at the 12th fret. If we look at my larger guitar here, my Spanish guitar, there's an E there, and then you come up here to your 12th fret harmonic, there's that E, and that's a harmonic. And so you get this sonic tonal transmission when you join a neck to the body at that 12th fret, is a theory that provides a deeper tone. That's part of it, but it also, by a lot of American guitarists, join the neck at the 14th fret. What you do when you join one at the 12th fret is you move the bridge further into the body of the guitar, and that also provides more depth of tone. And I don't know if you care about that information or not, but that's what's going on. So I'm gonna change this into a travel guitar with a 24-inch scale, and we'll see how it comes out. Well, hello. So I did finish my travel guitar, and you'll see on the screen there a picture of it compared with my Spanish guitar and my little guitar. So the smallest one I can put as carry-on on the plane, and the large Spanish guitar is really a great concert style guitar. And then I made the travel guitar onto a Quattro body, and so this is what it is, and it has a 24-inch scale length. So from here to here is 24 inches, which is relatively short for a guitar, but not so short that you can't get your strings in tune. So you can see the headstock. I laminated some walnut onto that, and it's a maple headstock. It's got my Chazman and my little hummingbird on there, and you can see the neck is carved out of maple. The back is curly maple, and came out really well. And it's all free wood. People give me wood, and I so appreciate it. I use Aquila Red strings on my ukuleles and guitars, and so it's Classical Rubino, I think they're called. They're probably made in Italy, but they have a good density. They seem to resemble gut strings more than the nylon strings do, in my opinion. Made the fretboard out of yew wood. Again, I like the feel of that yew wood, and I like the look. You can see it's a Puerto Rican Quattro, which is different, the body, than Venezuelan Quattro, but I blended them together, borrowed the percussion board from the Venezuelan Quattro, made it out of walnut, and put some yew wood strip there. This middle piece is actually redwood. Had a piece of it. In fact, that's the piece right there. It was that width, and it was already the right thickness for body. I just trimmed the outside pieces off of the bridge. Put this is a cherry armrest. This is red cedar, obviously. The sides are still the same. Electronics are in it because it had electronics. Why not leave them in there? Probably won't use it plugged in. If I'm going to be someplace where I'm plugging in, I'll more likely use the Spanish guitar. Got my in pin on there. This piece honestly is on there, this piece of walnut, because there was a little boo-boo after I had it all put together. Chipped the redwood and at the very end, and I thought, well, let me cover it up, and so I did. And it's relatively thin, so I was just being a little careful. You can see there's some marks on the old sides. It's a travel guitar, so I'm not overly worried about it. I think it came out very well. It's pretty, and it sounds, I think it sounds good. So it certainly doesn't sound like it has plywood top anymore. So definitely a big improvement. I think I'll have a lot of fun with this. In fact, planning on going on a vacation next month, driving vacation. This will probably be the instrument I take. Well, I hope you enjoyed that build process. Lord bless you.